And welcome to Cover 2 TV. It's the preview week. What game week is it today?
It is definitely game week 13.
It is right. It's unlucky for some.
Whoa, jinx. You can't talk the whole show.
It's fine. We get rid of Chris off the show.
You said his name now, he can't talk.
Yay!
It's Playground 101.
I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby. Okay, so we're going to get into the 4 games this week. Vikings, Falcons, Lions, Ravens, Panthers, Saints, Eagles, Seahawks. And then we're going to take a look around most of the games. There are a few that we just do not want to talk about. Apologies if you are a fan of the really bad teams.
They understand.
But you do.
I'm
because these shows are long and there's just not that many things to talk about when you're just going to go, yeah, the Browns are going to lose again. It sounds, we all know it. So we'll do our picks as normal. We'll get up the Pick'em League. Someone will get the Pick'em League up on the phone and tell us where we're up to and who's top. I'm sure it's still Lee Reynolds, to be fair. But we're going to start off with the Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons. Jenno, how do you see this one going and who have you picked, mate?
So I went for the Vikings in this game. Every week I just look at the Vikings and they are so impressive. The reason why you're smiling all the time.
It's amazing.
Like I missed it when like, I was like week 4 and you were like nearly in tears. They were the good times. But I like the way they've run the game. Falcons still seem to be wanting to throw games away. I know they've been winning, but they seem to be wanting to throw the games away. I just think the Vikings don't have too much for them. That defense is going to be too good. And, you know, feeling white Jerry Rice, he's just amazing.
Back to the Pick'em, Lee is top by miles. He's top by 80 from
wow.
From ERTLT, whoever that is leapfrogged you. And we'll find out who that is right now. There's no name on it, it's fine. And then you're 3rd. And your 5th, Harshall's 4th. I forgot to do mine again, so I could be anywhere.
Oh, really? You forgot?
I forgot a few of them, yeah. Just what that was.
I got one tied, which I think meant that I was indecisive. I was going to come back to it, and I forgot.
Yeah.
Is that what happened when you missed them?
Yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, I missed a few as well. It's fine. I don't care.
I accidentally missed one off, and like even though I picked Vikings on the show, I accidentally put Lions on the thing and then got lost because of it. So you just got like another game on me, and I did that the week before. And I was
basically, you've second guessed yourself there, and you've decided to go Lions.
No, what he's done, he's submitted them all for the rest of the season, so he doesn't, in case he forgets like I do.
Oh really?
Yeah, I did that. So I did that on like week 3 or whatever it was. Whatever week he forgot. And then I have to go back and change it now, but I forgot to do one. And, yeah.
I just don't care.
So a little word of advice for you, Jenno. Maybe this isn't what we should be doing, is clear your week off when you sat down to re-edit it. And then you won't make that mistake again.
Or just don't do it. Who cares? In the grand scheme of things, it is.
I do care. Like, it does bother me that Chris has beaten me.
He's dying. He's dying. Well, you know what? I've picked the Vikings. And to be fair, I've been picking the Vikings and not picking the Vikings, but I've always been picking the Vikings when it comes to it. Because you know what? We've got Case Keenum, man, and he's amazing. He's actually amazing. I can't believe we're sat here previewing week 13 and we're still talking about Case Keenum being amazing. Like,
I've gone Vikings as well, so clean sweep, and I think Atlanta's offense is starting to round into shape. It really is. The last few weeks are starting to look better. They've simplified things. They've got a bit more of a run game going.
And he throws to Julio. That
helps, yeah, even when the wide receivers throw it to him. But I just think the pass rush is going to get to Matt Ryan. I think that, you know, Griffin and Hunter et al. are going to be all over.
Bar, Kendricks, you name them, they'll all get there.
I think they're going to, and I think that ultimately decide. I've been disappointed with the Falcons defense all year. Actually, I thought going into the season, I thought, you know, that young, speedy defense that has played so well for so long is going to round into shape. And it really hasn't done that. You know, I mean, they've had the odd games where they've looked really good, but they're too easy to move the ball against. And I think a veteran quarterback like Case Keenum, which is mad saying that, but that's where we are now in this season. We'll just pick them apart. He'll find holes in the gap, in the zones. Like I say, I think it'll be a close game because I don't think either side are that much better than the other, if I'm honest. But I think the Vikings will just force a couple of turnovers, short fields, and that'll be the difference.
Yeah, for me, listen, we've spoken about Thielen and Diggs and Murray and McKinnon and all that all season long, and we've not really focused on the offensive line. Who've been absolutely sensational. They were the reason we were so bad last season. You know, he's made a couple of pickups. We've obviously drafted the centre, who's been absolutely brilliant as a rookie for us. And we've conceded like 2 sacks all season long or something like that. It's ridiculously low. And you know what? Whether it's run game, whether it's pass game, that offensive line have held up and they've been marvellous this season.
Atlanta don't really have a pass rush either. They have, Claiborne had the game of his life against me, playing left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, and Vic Beasley's alright, but there's nothing that absolutely terrifies you, so yeah.
Yeah, I think you're discrediting Keenan's amount of his escape in the pass, which has been pretty impressive. He looks like Frank Tarkenton out there, slipping a slide before throwing it downfield, so I think that's got a lot to do as well. When a quarterback makes people miss, that helps your pass rush.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. It just frees them for a second. It wouldn't be. Listen, the Falcons aren't like no hopers in this, are they? They've got enough on offense, I think, to get going. And since Sanu's come back healthy, they've just looked so much better. Whether it's him throwing passes or catching them, but it's hard to single cover him, I think. But I think the Vikings have got the players to do it. Yeah. I think every team in the league, you have to double Julio zones. It's impossible, and no one can beat him one-on-one. And then you try and single cover Sanu, and I think that'll be where the game's going. Whoever wins that battle, I imagine, will it be? Do you reckon you put Rhodes on Sanu and then double team Julio with?
And saying that, I wouldn't want to see Newman and Wayne's double team. And
I suppose you could go Wayne's and safety help. I suppose.
But you don't really want Harrison Smith.
No, because you're losing a lot from your.
You're gonna have to.
Use your second safety.
Smith or Barr.
Barr, yeah.
So it's got to be Barr. It's got to be Barr. Then you don't want Smith covering anyone.
But that's actually a really difficult thing, because both of those get involved in trying to get to the quarterback.
I think in this game you're going to have to sacrifice that a bit.
But it's Mike Zimmer.
He won't. He'll blitz. I mean, if you blitz, you better get there then, because Julio's one-on-one and you're not winning that battle.
That's it. Like some of the A-gap blitzes that we've come up with this season are always a massive thing in Mike Zimmer's defense. Is like, you just don't know they're coming, and you know that they're coming and you still don't see them, like, because even when we're using Kendricks and everything and they're dropping out into coverage, it can trip up quarterbacks, can't it, and they can throw and make interceptions and stuff like that. So I imagine Zimmer will have to do what Zimmer does. I imagine Zimmer will do what Zimmer does, and I imagine it will get to the quarterback, but there may be some really big plays there for Julio Jones.
Yeah, for sure. So
we'll move on then. We've got the Detroit Lions against the Baltimore Ravens. They'll start with you on this one.
I hate the Ravens. Watching them, and they're just so dull and boring.
It's the offense, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all of it. Me and Jenno had this conversation yesterday about how crap Joe Flacco's become and what he is, but I picked him to win this game. I think the defense is the most opportunistic defense in the league. They've had more takeaways and turnovers than any other defense, and the Lions, I think, are there to be had in terms of turnovers. Matt Stafford I think, he's having a really good season, but I think he will force a couple maybe if he has to, and they fumble. I think they're there to be fumbled. They have a lot of those pitch and catch and run plays, where they try and get it into Tate or into one of the Joneses and then running with the ball. And I think against the Ravens, you're there to be strip sacked, or you're there to be, strip fumbled rather. So the offense is putrid. The Ravens' offense is absolutely, it's hideous to watch. It's horrendous. Alex Collins is their best player, and he couldn't even get on the Seattle roster. But I think I think it's going to be a really ugly, low-scoring game, and I'm going to pick the Ravens.
Yeah, what do you say?
I'm going for the Lions because I believe in everything you've just said, but I believe that Matt Stafford's going to be able to score more points than Joe Flacco's offense.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's win, because I mean, let's not forget the best play of offensive play that the Ravens had was the punter throwing a pass. That was the best pass that there's been probably all season for the Ravens. That's how bad they've been. So I believe that Stafford's going to be able to get 14 to 21 points, and I don't believe that the Ravens are going to be able to score that many points.
No, I think it's going to be
defensive
scoring,
defensive touchdowns, which we all know you love on the bet.
I love it on the bet.
For me, I've gone Lions as well. I've seen their offense a couple of times over the last, I think I've watched 2 Lions games over the last 3 weeks, and I've been impressed with that offense. And as good as the Baltimore Ravens defense is, when Matthew Stafford has to go down the field and score points, he's always able to do it, and he gets into those streaks whereby defenses don't get a handle on him, and he just gets cheeky and just gets points. And I think 21 will be enough to do this.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes the home team going on the road to Baltimore, I think, is a factor as well. I'll be honest,
especially early December.
My theory on the Lions, I actually think they're a bit soft.
I think
they're a bit soft, and I think going into Baltimore against a really good defense, I think that'll ultimately be the downfall. But it wouldn't be a surprise, because, like I say, Joe Flacco could shit the bed, because he's been shitting the bed all season. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league in terms of, and what they're paying him is hamstringing that organisation. They're paying him. He's the highest paid player in terms of cap hit this year, and next year is just as bad, and it's killing him, because he when you pay a player that much, he has to be able to win you games, or at least not lose you games. And this lad, he's a check down machine. So it wouldn't at all surprise me. I'm just banking on the defence.
Yeah, totally understandable.
It's just a 50-50 flip game.
So we go to the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Saints obviously lost last time out. Will they bounce back, Ste?
Oh, me? Yeah, I've got them to win. And I'm probably the biggest Carolina advocate in this room. And with all my friends, everyone keeps telling me the crap. And they keep winning, they're 8-3. But
they're a mad 8-3 though.
Yeah. They are a defensive 8-3. They're getting, but I think you can run on them. And I think the Saints are going to run on them. I think the Saints are going to run on them a lot. The Saints at home are formidable, aren't they? Carolina tend not to do particularly well in this game anyway. I thought Drew Brees had a really bad game actually. When I watched that back again, he did not play well at all. So I think they might even take the ball out of his hands even more. And I think that Cam is struggling in the pocket. His passing's not good at all, and I think he's
sailing a lot.
Yeah, especially if there's talk that Lattimore should play. If
Olsen's going to be out again.
Yeah, Olsen's foot's gone again. If Lattimore plays, I'll definitely. If he doesn't play, I'll change this pick at home. If Lattimore's confirmed out, because I think without him, their defense is last year's defense. I think he's that important. But by all accounts now, he's going to play, so I'm going to pick them to win.
Yeah, I was looking at the Pro Football Focus. That's how you say it, isn't it? Yeah. All their stats, and Marshall Lattimore's the best, like, fucking defender in the league at the moment, based on their analytics and stuff. He's unbelievable. Like, and the drop off has been incredible as well.
Kenny Vaccaro's in coverage. We had that.
But it is probably going to be down to Ingram and Kamara in this game, Jenno.
Yeah, I think it's that running game where it's who's going to control the clock. And if you control the clock against the Panthers, I think you can kind of win. I think that's their strength, is controlling the clock. So the defense keeps you off the field. Defense gets themselves off the field, which gives Cam numerous attempts to finally get something going on his long drives. I think if you're running the ball, you're limiting his attempts of drives. So therefore, I think the Saints should dominate. And I think, Ingram, I felt had a bit of a bad game as well last week. I love Kamara, I mean, that's been said for a while. I think I expect him to have a bounce-back game, and then with Kamara just running down the lines and between the tackles, I'm not sure even that linebacking core is going to be able to stop them.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets to the edge first. It's going to be a race between Keighley and Kamara. That's going to be so much fun to watch.
It'll be Kamara.
No, it should be Kamara.
Keighley and Kamara jumps over him.
Yeah, I don't know, make Keighley's
amazing.
Or Kamara, it's going to be really, really... I think what Keighley does so well is he predicts it. So he'll gamble, he'll have a couple of guesses. And if he guesses right, he'll definitely get there. He's absolutely fantastic.
But even if you get there with Kamara, man...
You've got to jump over.
Yeah.
You've got to tackle him. I do think, though, like I say, we had this conversation, obviously you weren't here, in that the Saints' defence without Lattimore looked like the Saints' defence that we criticised at the beginning. I think they were garbage without him, and I think if they don't have him, that means that they've got to keep a safety back for sure, and then they won't be able to stop the run, and that's when you might see Cam running, you'll see a bit of Stewart, you'll see a bit of McCaffrey. If Lattimore is so important to the Saints, and if I was them and he's not 100%, I might even consider it, not playing him, and I think they would have. However, because it's a divisional game and there's a tiebreaker on the line, they're going to have to risk it.
Yeah. I would just put him in there. It's kind of like the decoy, because I don't actually believe in any Panthers wide receivers are going to dominate them, but him being there allows you to make it look like you're not putting Vaccaro in coverage, because the minute you see Vaccaro in coverage, you're going, that's where that ball's going. Because if it's Vaccaro versus McCaffrey, there's only going to be one winner. Yeah. Whereas if you put Lattimore on, even if he's 80% healthy, they're not finding that easy matchup. And that's when Vaccaro can
from throwing the ball that way, doesn't it?
Vaccaro then can help and support and stop in the run, which is his strength, and that's the Carolina offensive strength.
Yeah. Okay, so we've all picked the New Orleans Saints in that one. We'll move on, actually. The tough game to... Well, I think we've got a split decision on this one. I think we have, yes. Okay, so I'm surprised that it's a split decision, but it is. Jenno, it's the Philadelphia Eagles at the Seattle Seahawks. Why did you go for the Seattle Seahawks?
Because I can't see the Philadelphia Eagles winning every game and only having one loss. I think there's another loss in there, and I've picked this one going up to Seattle. It's a hard place to go. Russell Wilson has been incredible. The dominance of the Eagles is that front, four rotation, because like 8 of them. And I think that Russell Wilson's ability to escape them, even with the bad offensive line, I think he can make enough plays onto that secondary. And also, I just wanted an upset pick and to try and call a pick back.
I think Philadelphia are going to kill him. I think they're going to kill him. I think they're going to hit him a lot. I think they're going to, that front, and I've picked the Eagles for that reason. I think the front seven's going to get there, all the front four especially. And as good as Wilson is, and I agree, he escapes everything, and he's
probably playing at his highest level as well.
Yeah, he's playing really well. My love for Russell Wilson knows no end. As viewers on the show will know, even he isn't Superman. Even he can't. There's certain things that you just can't overcome. And when it's Curry and Cox and Burnett and all these other guys coming and smashing you in the face, it gets you. And eventually, I think that's what's going to come to. You're relying on the magic play, and the magic play is fine. But I don't trust at the moment the Seattle defense to be able to keep the score low enough with the magic. The magic plays help when it's 17-10, and you get back into it. I think the Eagles are going to score 21 at least. I think the Seattle secondary's banged up. I think Thomas is going to play, but they've got no corners. You know, they've got is it Lang and Maxwell?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they scored 30 points on the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
and this is the game when the Seattle Seahawks really. The next game is when they step it up because it's pride that's on the line after this.
The other reason why I went for as well, the Seahawks need this win.
If
the Seahawks lose, they're almost looking outside the playoff picture, and it's looking like they're not going to make it. So the other thing was how much they need the win as opposed to the Eagles, who if they go and shit the bed, they're fine. They're fine. You know what I mean? They're still getting the first seed.
I think this could be like one of those games where when you people are on the Eagles, people know the Eagles are good, I think, by now. But you always get that game when you're in the surprise team coming and people have doubts about them. It was Atlanta and it was Carolina a couple of seasons ago, and then they have that one win and you think, actually, you know what, these are for real. Legit. And I think they're going to go into Seattle and win, and then people are going to say, like, these are absolutely for real, and I think Wentz is going to have a day. I don't think they'll run the ball well at all. I think Seattle will stop the run, but I think passing, you know, I think we're going to see a lot of passes, deep passes against which is mad to say is to play Seattle, but they've got the corners are injured, they're all hurt. You know, Lane and Maxwell's a backup quarterback group, you know what I mean? It isn't the Legion of Boom anymore, it's two average players, and Carson Wentz has picked apart better defences than this already this year. Okay,
well, we'll move on then. We'll do quickly, just give us your picks for the Thursday night game, Redskins, Dallas, and a quick reason why, please, Steve.
Washington, I think Dallas are in a big mess at the minute. I think they're in big trouble.
Jenno?
Washington, the worst bad team. Sorry, the best bad team.
Washington to destroy the Dallas Cowboys.
I think they'll win by comfortably as well.
Okay, we'll move on then. Jen, I'll come to you first on this. New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills. Tyrod Taylor inspired Buffalo Bills now.
Yeah, see, the Bills are actually set up to beat the Patriots. And the Patriots defense struggles against the run and then a mobile quarterback because we've got no pass rush. But, I mean, they only actually scored 16 points against the Chiefs. I mean, since when do we celebrate 16 points? Is 16 points really going to be enough to beat the Patriots offense that's putting up huge numbers? And even the fact the Patriots run games is now amazed. We were talking about how well Dion Lewis was doing. Rex Burkhead is that second guy. Gillislee's being a healthy scratch. That's how much they trust the run game. I can only see a Patriots win.
Yep. Patriots win for me as well. Okay, well, I'll give you my pick first. If Jimmy Garoppolo starts for the San Francisco 49ers against Chicago, the San Francisco 49ers are going to get their second victory of the season, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be San Francisco. I think it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo who's going to come in and win this game for them.
Okay. Tampa Bay at Green Bay, Steve.
The Battle of the Bays. Oh my God, if Ryan Fitzpatrick beat us. I've gone for the Packers at home.
I've also gone for the Packers.
Their defense, the Bucs defense is not good.
Tell me about the quarterback last week.
He played better. He obviously made a couple of throws. He still isn't perfect. He holds the ball again. We keep saying it far too long. His decision making is flawed at best. But the scheme got guys open, which we've been crying out for so long. Scheming guys open. So they were doing slants with Randall Cobb. They were doing misdirection. They were doing all kinds. And the Steelers blew a bit of coverage a few times as well.
Question for you on Green Bay.
Yes.
Are the coaches having to do a lot more in game themselves? Because do you think there was too much trust in Rodgers almost? And does it show how instrumental Rodgers was in just changing the plays to the right stuff?
Yes and no. There wasn't too much trust in him because you should give him all your trust. He can offensive coordinate the game like Peyton Manning does. He should call every play pretty much. It shows that there's a limited talent pool. I think it isn't as good as he made it look better, which, you know, he's the best.
All good quarterbacks do that.
For sure, it's not bad. It is what it is. The team was built around him, and the second you take him away, it's not as good. That's just how that's how these are built. They're built to get the best out of Rodgers, and if he's not there, they're going to fail. Defensively, they look better. I know they let up a lot of points. It's Antonio Brown. The Bucs haven't got Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? They've got Mike Evans, who's good but not brilliant. They're playing Ryan Fitzpatrick, so I think they'll win. And I think they'll win quite decently as well.
Yeah, I've gone Green Bay as well.
Yeah, I've gone Green Bay. Bucs are garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, Houston at Tennessee, Jenno.
I've went for Tennessee. I think, again, we were saying on the other show that they're the worst good team. I think they'll scrape through. I think Houston's season was pretty much over the midday. Sean Watson went down. I think Tennessee's just going to find a way to win, but it's not going to be pretty.
No.
I've gone Tennessee. I've got pause because of how well Jadeveon Clowney's playing against the run. And if they can't run the ball, they're going to really struggle. And Clowney's shutting run games down for fun. He's playing absolutely out of his skin. But ultimately, Tom Savage is playing.
Yeah, I think for me, I've literally just based it on the fact that Tennessee are at home in this. I'm so down on Marcus Mariota at the moment. I just think he's been really poor all season. In fact, I've tried to bid him in one of my fantasy leagues this week because I had him at the start of the season. I thought it was going to be a breakout year for him. Hasn't worked out like that. I do think the Tennessee Titans will scrape it, but literally just scrape it. So another game that I don't really want to talk too much about, but we'll give our picks. I've gone for Denver over the Miami Dolphins. Where have you gone, Sting?
Yeah, Denver over Miami.
Denver.
Okay, sorry Denver fans and Miami Dolphin fans, because I know there's a load of Miami Dolphin fans in the UK. It's just not fun to talk about this season. Kansas City Chiefs at New York Jets. I have gone and backed the Kansas City Chiefs to win a game of football. They've been on a hell of a slide over the last few weeks, but they've come up against the New York Jets sides that have done much better this season than I thought they were going to. I can't see them losing another one. I just can't see it.
Okay.
I can see it, but I've still went for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I would not be surprised at all if the Jets go in and beat them.
I can't see, and I picked the Jets.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Kansas City's offense is it's gone from being amazing to watch to being ugly as sin. It's a horrendous.
It looks like Joe Flacco's offense.
It's like they think that you to score a touchdown you've got to get to the sideline. It's just like it's everything sideways, and I think the Jets are going to beat them at home. I think the Chiefs are like, not to bring up old memories, but your Vikings from last year when they look good and just bomb out. I think they've been showing up for what they are in terms of play cover 2 against them, and what can they do?
Is there, at what point are we going to see Patrick Mahomes? Because the talk's kind of stopped.
No, we won't.
We won't, because all we heard is that he's not ready and he's further behind what Mitch Trubisky is. Don't put someone in who's got less knowledge of what to do than Mitch Trubisky.
You might see in the last week if they're out of playoff contention, but while they're still in it, they're not going to bench Alex Smith. But they've got no vertical element to the defense. To their offense. They've got nothing. They can't get Tyreek Hill involved. They can't really get Kelsey open. Kareem Hunt looks like he's not much step back, but teams have figured them out. It's not rocket science how they've done it. Yeah. They've literally, me and Jenno had this conversation on You Missed It, they're just playing cover 2. And they're saying, we'll just keep everything in front of us, and you can happily go sideline to sideline, and then we'll get to the red zone and we'll take the ball off you and you can kick a field goal. And I don't think the Jets are any good by all means. I think they're really poor, but I think they're going to win 21-14, something like that.
Okay. Next game's Indianapolis against Jacksonville. I've gone for Jacksonville Jaguars based on the defence once again. I just don't think the Colts will get any offence going in this game. That defence will take away the ball, that defence will score points, and that defence will win the game.
Yeah, I've got the same, but just did anyone hear the Chuck Pagano press conference?
I did.
I heard it was weird, I've not heard it.
He went on about Groundhog Day, and then he turned into a weatherman. It was odd. It was mad. But
it was just like he's getting sacked and his man's gone.
Well, I would say you can't bank Jacksonville on for any win. No, you just can't, because the quarterback's that bad. And to be fair, he's got his weapons are, Fournette isn't fit. He doesn't look healthy at all. His wide receivers, he's lost both of them. I think Haynes is still going to be out. I'm not sure. Obviously, Robinson's gone for the season. You don't bank them in for any win. They are not certainties in any game whatsoever, because Blake Bortles is like garbage shit. And Indianapolis have been feisty at best. They found ways to lose in the fourth quarter, and that's why I wouldn't pick them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go into this game, even the last 5 minutes with a lead or a tie. I think it could be that close, because I've never seen a team so hamstrung by one player in that position in my life. If you give them Andy Dalton, they could be winning a Super Bowl. Give them Tyrod Taylor, they could win a Super Bowl. But they've got this fucking clown quarterback on them, so it could be anything. This.
Okay.
It's also Jacoby Brissett is like the most sacked quarterback in the league, playing sacks of.
That's the main reason why he might get really hurt.
Okay. So we'll go on quickly to Cleveland Browns at LA Chargers.
Yep.
Chargers.
And just one thing though, wasn't it the Chargers who got beat by the Browns last season?
Yes.
It was.
Yep.
Revenge game Chargers.
Nicely set up. Giants at Oakland Raiders. Obviously, the Giants is actually a major talking point, so we should definitely have to talk about this. Poor old Eli Manning.
I think it's
for Geno Smith.
It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. I am very rarely do I take emotion into anything in terms of a fella. What are you doing this for? You're embarrassing the fella. You're putting him out in front of the press where he's nearly in tears. And for what? If you just said, you know what, Eli, the season's gone and we think this Davis Webb might be all right. We're going to have a little look at him and I understand, sorry, it is what it is, it's business. They're benching him because he's played badly and they're putting Geno Smith in. It's an absolute 210 career start. He's been the face of this franchise for so long, through all the ups and downs. He's won them 2 fucking Super Bowls. And Ben McAdoo is going to get sacked anyway, or someone's decided, you know what?
It's not Ben McAdoo's decided.
Whether it's the GM or whoever's decided, you know what?
It's not Ben McAdoo.
It
can't be Ben McAdoo.
It's got to be
he cannot be making that decision because he's gone.
It's got to have come, you at least have to ask someone. And then to say to Eli, we'll start you for the first series so you can have your record and then we'll take you out. It's actually insulting and embarrassing. I just think, what are you looking at Geno Smith for? I can tell you what Geno Smith is. He's a bad player.
The Jets fans will tell you what he's like.
I think it's disgusting. Actually, I think it's really, really poor form.
My opinion was simple. Same thing I texted you immediately was, why is it not for the Webb? If it's for Webb and you want to see what a kid can do, by all means, the season's over. Let's have a look at him. But to take Eli out, who has been playing bad, and I really think he's finished the quarterback. I've been saying this for about 2 years. But I don't get for Geno Smith. You know what Geno Smith is. He's not good enough. Unless Geno Smith is pulling up trees behind scenes and just outplaying him, which by the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like that. I haven't heard no noise from the New York media, who are quite loud, would have been telling us how Geno Smith's look good. They're not. They're just saying we're just benching Eli because we are. It just makes no sense to me.
I take a particular offence, much like you stated, the fact that he's had to go out in the media and talk to them all, and that interview where he's just choked up and he's holding back tears and he's talking about it. Fair play to him for standing up there first and foremost and doing that, because obviously we're big soccer football fans as well, aren't we? Could you imagine a player doing that with one of the clubs in England? It wouldn't happen. So fair play to Eli for stepping up and doing that. But he should have been telling the others to fuck off and to rip his contract up after that.
I'm with Jenno in the fact that he hasn't played well. He hasn't played well.
Everyone knows that.
But this season's gone. Look, to say, what are you putting Geno Smith behind that offensive line with these weapons for? What are you trying to accomplish other than you're trying to force Eli Manning out? It's what you're doing. You're essentially saying, come and give us a trade offer. You can have him.
Why
it's really. I think
do that behind closed doors. It doesn't need to be played out in the media.
You know what? Their season was overcoming trade deadline. Trade him then. Imagine him with the Jaguars. I mean, he'd still be terrible, but he'd be better than Bortles.
I think it's an absolute disgrace. I think for what? For what? That's what I just want to know. What's the point of this? Is it someone getting the jollies off? Is it to punish? He hasn't played well. I'll be honest. He hasn't played well.
But he has had no help.
But if say for example it was the Mike Glennon, Mitch Trubisky situation, and I know Glennon's not got the history, and he hasn't even got the history in Chicago. He's got none that Eli's got in New York. You can kind of get, you know what, mate, you're crap and we think this next lad who's the first overall pick or whatever is the future, we're going to put him in and give him a go. Fine, I get it. Davis Webb's like a mid-round pick and Geno Smith. I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you both.
So yeah, Oakland by miles, I hope.
Oakland by miles, I hope.
Oakland.
By miles?
I don't care about the Giants.
Okay, we've got LA Rams, Arizona Cardinals. I think the Rams are going to walk all over these.
I think they'll win. I don't know if they'll walk all over them, but I think they'll win. Yeah. I think Blaine Gabbert's in for a shock. Aaron Donald's going to eat him for dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Rams. They're just the better team. I don't think it's close.
Okay, final one then, the Monday night game. Division rivalry. Always good games. Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati Bengals. I've gone for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fresh off the back. Who did they beat last week?
Man, listen, I'll take that loss. Last second field goal. I'll take it.
Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's fine.
Was it 31-28?
It was.
Oh, so I didn't remember the score. Just couldn't remember.
Couldn't
fill in those blanks. Thanks for stepping up, mate.
Honestly, the season's done. I signed out 4 weeks ago. Honestly, it's completely fine.
Yeah, but you're still here and I've not signed out.
Did you not sign back in when like you saw him just warming up? Was you not like getting pulled back in?
Who was the guy who tackled Rodgers and ended the season?
That was your bell end of a fucking dirty player prick. Well, we'll take back to this game. The Steelers on the road on no gimmies in any game.
No,
they're not. And But they always beat the Bengals.
But the Bengals are fucking shit. To be fair, like, they're a fucking bag of balls.
The worse the team is, the more likely the Steelers are to shit.
It's a good point.
Brett only nearly beat them, and Jacoby Brissett nearly beat them, so I wouldn't rule anything past it, but this is one of those, everything's setting up for that week 15 game against New England, is it?
Yeah.
Where that's pretty much the home field advantage on the line. It's like an extra playoff game. So yeah, I think they'll win. But I don't think they're going to batter them. I think it might be close again, but I think they'll win.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers. As much as I like picking them, again, like picking the underdogs against the Steelers, I can't see this Bengals team doing anything. The offensive line's terrible. Andy Dalton's not going to beat them because he's going to just throw it away and throw it away some more.
Pittsburgh needs to be worried that Vontaze Burfict doesn't eat any of them.
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, you know, as much as they've had their struggles and stuff, you've still got Bell, who's the leading player from scrimmage yards in the entire league, and you've got Brown, who's leading all wide receivers. Again, these two are good enough to beat the Bengals pretty much on their own.
Yeah. I wouldn't. They will. Yeah, they should. Yeah, for sure.
So there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on the Eli Manning situation in the comments section below, please. Always good to hear other people's views on it. Obviously, we all think the same, but you might think absolutely differently. If you're a New York fan, let us know, especially if you're a New York fan, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Cover 2 on YouTube, Facebook, and check us out on Twitter as well. From me, goodbye. From Steve.
Ta-da.
And from Jenno.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.